Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my 2 obligatory informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And a lot of people have made me aware of this enormous 33-minute long video. AlphaDestiny made trying to defend his position after all these people came after him. So let me put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing. Work on skilling up my crafting a bit, and let's talk about this. I wasn't really concerned with the whole video. The only thing that I wanted to see is what I went to. People gave me the timestamp, was him discussing his 225 standing press. All right. And here's my problem with that. If he wants to be a con man or whatever, that's fine, but he can't expect people to not call him out. Just like everyone called out Netherbeast, who he followed and pretended like he didn't realize it was fake lifts. I mean, seriously. Seriously. You can't claim you've been lifting for 5, 6, 7 years and not recognize that those were fake lifts. Only a naive kid is not going to recognize that. But even if he's telling the truth, oh, he really didn't realize that he followed him. We'll get into that in a minute. How is what he did any better? And I want all of his fans, the people who follow him, to step back and listen to this. Before you guys get angry at me, before you hate on me, I'm going to prove to you that the guy you're following is lying about his lifts. And all he has to do is prove me wrong. Because when we watched that clip, he claims, what is it? He's claimed that the file got corrupted. And it cut out the parts of the clip other than just the top. So we missed the bottom. I film every single day. I have 4,000 videos on this channel. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of training clips I've taken over the years on multiple different types of cameras, different brands. I can assure you that when a file gets corrupted, it never, ever, ever conveniently just leaves the top half of the lift. When the file's corrupted, you can't see the lift at all. The whole file is ruined. All right, first of all, he's lying. That is a flat-out lie. It's a flat-out lie. It's not how these files work on video files. Number 2, even if he was being somewhat honest, what are the odds? What are the odds that it just happened to delete the part of the clip where he could fake a push press? Right? It just magically happened to do so. And that's kind of the scary part about how naive the people who follow him are, that it just conveniently did that. When everyone who's looking at it, multiple people have said, not just me, there's strength and conditioning coaches who said in videos, yeah, it looks like a push press. He's going to deny it and claim this and that, and I stand by it. All right, just that sounds exactly like Netherbeast, right? Sounds exactly like Netherbeast. And here's what I'm going to put down as a challenge. Yeah, this is a legitimate challenge, and if he can't answer this, if he can't do it, his fans, you guys need to hold him accountable. If he can't do it, he needs to admit he lied, or just flat say, I'm not strong enough to actually do this lift. I admit it. I admit it. I'm not strong enough to do this lift. Because if people are going to tell me that he's done all this yoke training since and built his traps and delts and shoulders up so much, he should have no trouble lifting this weight again. All right, guys, I do 225 standing presses with a pause all the time on camera. It's something I do sometimes several days in a row. Right now, I'm trying to do it 5 or 6 times a week, and I always bench first. So I'm always fatigued, so he doesn't have to be as strong as me to come in and hit it fresh. After a day off from the gym with no training, he could be weaker than me and still pull that off, right? Shouldn't be a problem. If he can actually do it, he should be able to flat out perform this on camera, full transparency. Before, what happened before? When I issued a challenge, even other coaches said, dude, don't even play Blaha's game. Like Freak said, made a video saying, don't play his game, do your thing. Jason has you. He has you because you can't bench 315. I'm looking at your training and I know you can't bench 315. Don't fall into his game. I also said there's no way he could deadlift conventional 500 pounds for 2 to 3 reps without straps. I said that, and he said, I'm not going to answer those challenges because I don't do the big 3, the power lifts. I only do odd lifts. I refuse. When I said before he wasn't strong enough to do those lifts, right? I said it flat out. He refused and made excuses and issued challenges of anything but lifting. Right? Anything but lifting. Attacked me, came after me personally, instead of actually just doing the lifts. Well, on this case, he claims he can lift this weight. He's making a claim that he is capable of lifting this weight, and I'm saying he can't. He can't do it. If any of his fans are out there who believe he can, then he should be able to do it. And if he can't, he needs to just admit it. In fact, the strict standing press is an odd lift. He talks about, oh, I only like to do odd lifts. Well, it used to be part of odd lifting competition. Then it was in the Olympics. Now it's part of strength lifting, so it's a competitive lift again. It's not one of the big three power lifts, right? And it's a lift you claim you can do. You have a home gym. You have at least 4 45s. You have an Olympic bar, you have a rack, and you have a camera that you set up and film yourself in your own home gym. If you are truly capable of doing this lift, no BS, no slowing down the same partial clip that you had before, throw 225 on the bar, put the camera back where we can see you unrack it, see you re-rack it the entire lift, where we can see your knees and see how much leg drive you use. Bring it down, touch your chest. None of this, oh, I'm going to do like 3 little bounces. Touch your chest. Doesn't have to be for a full second, 2 seconds. Just touch your chest briefly. A mild pause, a partial pause. Just so we know you're not bouncing it, put on your chest and press it with your knees locked. How hard is that? If you say you can do 225 overhead press, then prove it. Again, why does he need to go back and use the same fake clip, the same Netherbeast trickery where you can't see his legs, he only shows the top half of the lift, top 2/3 of the lift, we don't see at all what he does at the bottom? Well, then go back and refilm it. Do you not overhead press anymore? I thought the overhead press was a valuable lift that you respect. I respect it too. You've got all the equipment, just film it. And if he can't film it, if he can't just get on there this week, right now, and walk under the bar and press it on camera where we can see it, full transparency, no trickery, no flashing strobe lights, no smoke and mirrors, just walk over and lift it. And if he can't do it, then he isn't strong enough and he's been lying and conning his people. It's that simple. And I dare any of his followers to argue with that logic. People who follow the guy who want to hold on to him and hold him up and defend him, how can you defend that? Either he can lift it or he can't. He's tricking you guys by telling you he can lift it. He's lying to the people buying his books. And if he walks over on camera and just legitimately lifts it, no trickery, no BS, where we can see it, then people can say, okay, he's not lying about this lift. He can do it. There we go. Right? It's that simple. All he has to do to shut people up who are calling him out as a con man is just walk into his gym today. He's got a gym in his home. He's got 225. He's got a camera. He's got a rack. All he has to do is lift the weight. But here's the point. You know why he's not going to do it? Because he can't. He can't. He never could. It's a fake lift. It is a Netherbeast fake lift where he's lying about his strength to sell books. That's it. It's called being a con man. And you know what? If he can walk in and do it, then he can just shut everybody up and be like, look, I did it. There you guys go. It's as simple as that. I'm right. You guys are wrong. There's the proof. No BS, no trickery. But he can't do it and he won't. And if he does do it, it's going to be trickery again. He's going to have stuff hidden. He's not going to show a touch on the chest. He's going to fake it. Because he is fake. Everything he does is fake. It is what it is. And all he has to do is prove us wrong. And that's kind of the thing that's interesting. You guys notice the way he follows people? It's kind of bizarre. And I don't care about his personal life. You know, I don't really care what his views are on gays or blacks or Islam or any of this other stuff. None of that's relevant. What sort of porn he watches, none of that's relevant. Or what he watched in the past, or what he joked about watching in the past. Because hell, it might not have even been real. He might have just been trolling. You know what? I accept that. None of that matters. This is about strength and conditioning. This is about coaching. This is about teaching. Either you are teaching good methods or you are not. Either you're putting out good programs or you are not. Your personal life's irrelevant to the information you put out. It doesn't matter. But the interesting thing I've noticed, he always claims everything he does is backed by science. It's all science, but he doesn't. He just grabs on to guys. He has this whole alpha thing. He wants to be an alpha male so badly, puts alpha in his name that he latches on to other guys he sees as alpha males, and he just gravitates to them and copies what they do, no questions asked. Just automatically does it. He used to do it with me. Now, a lot of people say, well, Jason, I don't think you're an alpha male. Well, that's fine, but apparently he did enough that he followed me and quoted me repeatedly in his book without giving me credit. He used to follow my channel religiously, use a lot of my methods, right? He promoted them, and he got pretty good base doing that. Then he picked up all the West Side stuff. He wants to just imitate stuff Louis Simmons says without even understanding how it works. It's not scientific. He doesn't understand how it works. He doesn't know how to utilize it. Did that with Louis Simmons. Then he sees Eric Bugenhagen and says, oh my God, I need to imitate this guy. Because let's be honest here, what he does, he latches on to father figures. He's a follower. He's not a leader. He's not alpha. Guys like Eric, I mean, think what you want about Bugenhagen, but if you want to say, well, there's an alpha male, well, that's an alpha male. You don't even need to ask the question. It is just obviously apparent when you see the guy, the way he carries himself, the way he trains, the way he does stuff. The dude is an alpha male without trying. He probably wouldn't even know how to try. It's just part of his personality, right? So he sees that and says, oh man, I want to be like this guy, so I'm going to imitate what he does in the gym and just follow it. Yeah, I'm just going to imitate his stuff because I want to be alpha like him. That's what he does. Then he saw Netherbeast and saw Nether throwing around these heavy weights and cheating, and Nether was confident. Nether's crazy as hell, but he's confident, right? He was confident. And he saw that and saw confidence and strength and said, oh, I want to imitate that now. He doesn't even question it any further. He only just goes on the surface image, grabs that person, runs with it, imitates them, idolizes them in his mind because they're the alpha male that he wants to be. And then he markets it and respins it to his people. That's what he does over and over and over. And at the end of the day, though, it's all style and no substance because he doesn't even understand the concepts he's putting out. And so therefore then he comes back using all this unconventional stuff to mask his strength. And then when he does finally do a conventional lift like the standing press, he has to come down to, I use a method to where I bounce it and stuff out of the bottom, and I do a bounce with like a double bounce and then press it. But it's not a push press, but then he doesn't even show the bottom. And it's all trickery. He won't even show the lifts. And even right now, I promise you guys, beyond almost a shadow of a doubt, he cannot walk in and do a legit strict press with 225. He cannot do it. And if he tries to do it on camera, he will use trickery. You won't be able to see his legs. He'll clip something out. He'll flash strobe lights in there so that he can hide his bounce and time it between the strobes and clip part of the clip out. He will not show him doing the full lift from the unrack, the press, to the re-rack. He won't do it because he can't. And all of his followers need to understand that. He is not physically capable of doing it. He needs to quit lying about it and just own up to it and say, look, I can't do it. I apologize for faking it. I can't do it. It's that simple. And if he doesn't show it up, if he doesn't prove it and just get on camera and just lift it, because he could do it at any moment. He's got all the equipment in his house. He takes days off from the gym all the time, so he's fresh all the time. If he doesn't put it up, then we all know it's a lie. Every one of his followers, you need to understand that. If he can't do it, he's been lying the whole time. It's as simple as that. And there is nothing you can argue against that logic. There is no sound argument against that. Your boy can't lift the weight he claims that he faked. Just like Netherbeast. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.